Hi folks, today I'm going to walk around the layout and see all the different locomotives that I have. So here we go, let's take a look. We'll go ahead and start right here. First off, we have a Walther's mainline SD60M CSX paint scheme. Behind that is an Atlas chassis U23B. These two locomotives here are MTH Canadian National SD70 ACEs. And then back here we have an old Rivarossi Chesapeake and Ohio Allegheny. Tucked in the shop there's a Bachmann Detroit, Toledo, and Ironton GP38. Right here we have two Athearn Genesis Grand Trunk GP40s. Next to that is a Walther's Proto Wisconsin Central SD45. And here we have a Walther's Proto Grand Trunk GP9. And here's an Athearn Genesis Amtrak P42. And then out front here, an Athearn Genesis SD80 Mac Norfolk Southern Conrail unit. Maybe a little hard to see, but inside the Henry Ford we have an MTH Chesapeake and Ohio Allegheny. And next to that is the Bachmann DeWitt Clinton. Next up we have from Blackstone Models this beautiful Rio Grande K27. Here is the only unpowered unit I have on my layout. This is a Soo Line Athearn Blue Box F7B unit. On the turntable, we have a Bachmann Berkshire 1225 Pure Marquette. And then back there is an older DC model. It's a IHC consolidation. Out here on the main line, we have a pair of MP15. These are Athearn Genesis, Lake State Railway. Here is a Bowser Huron and Eastern SD40-2 in the lovely Genesee, Wyoming paint scheme. And here are a pair of Athearn Roundhouse Rail America / Huron and Eastern GP38s. Up next here we have another Walther's Proto SC45 Wisconsin Central. This is an Intermountain FP9 in Algoma Central. Behind that is an Athearn Roundhouse Soo Line SD39. And then there we have a Bowser Algoma Central SD 40-2. Over here is a Walthers mainline Canadian Pacific GP9. Up next is this little Bachmann 70-tonner. Here we have the Central Michigan locomotive is an Atlas GP40 wide nose. Behind that is another Bowser Algoma Central SD 40-2. And here is a Atlas Lake State Railway C425. Here's another Atlas here in an Eastern GP40 wide nose. Up next is a Bachmann Rail America GP38. And then right here is a pair of Walthers mainline SD70Ms. Up to this point, all the locomotives you've seen were DCC and that one unpowered unit. So now we're going to look at my DC units. Most of these are Atherton Blue Box. So here we have a Soo Line SD40-2. Next we have a Wisconsin Central FP45. Here's a Wisconsin Central SD45. Back here we have a GP9 Algoma Central High Nose. And we have a pair of Algoma Central F7s, the A and the B unit. And out front we have a Soo Line F7A unit. Back here is a Soo Line GP38. And now the only locomotive on this layout that is not an Atherton Blue Box is this big boy right here. Pun intended. This is an old River Rossi big boy from the mid-90s in this gray paint scheme. Alright, and to tally everything up, I have 33 DCC locomotives, 11 DC locomotives, and 1 unpowered unit, which comes out to a grand total of 45 HO scale locomotives. In a couple months, I'll probably do an update to this video showing off my N scale locomotives, although that list is rather short. But those locomotives are currently packed away because they go on the N scale shed layout, which is at a different location from here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. Which locomotive was your favorite? And what does your collection look like? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, take care everybody. Thanks for watching.